presentations at about 3 o'clock. But before that, we have the honorable member from the constituency of 29, who just happens to be, by favor of the party, the deputy premier of this country, as well as the party. And he needs no introduction. His reputation precedes him. I speak of none other than my good friend, Mr. Zane DeSilva. And I'm going to publicly declare it. You have my support. Yeah. Because when I look at what people do, it supersedes lots of times what they say. Politicians are known to say a lot of things, and many are accused of saying a lot without doing a lot. I can say with you, you put your money where your mouth is, literally, in this country on many different levels that you are very reluctant to even speak about because you're not the self-aggrandizing, self-praising type of individual based on my relationship with you and what I know about you and your family. And you've made incredible sacrifices along the way, notwithstanding the success. But still, the darts are aimed your way. But that means you're doing something right. And a good example of that, before we get into a couple of things, is the headline, where there is a photograph that speaks volumes, because you know a picture's worth 1,000 words. So when you hear the words that you would tend to believe because of the influence media has using words to tell their story by way of narrative, and then you find out, you gotta be kidding me. Container houses? Where are they? What happened? You just moved containers and got concrete and mortar there in 24 hours? I mean, we're going to get into that as well. First off, though, and talk about, you know, what's been going on in your ministry and in your constituency. But first off, we're going to talk about an event that I had a lot of fun with last year.
Yes, you did.
You know, there's nothing like greeting seniors, and no matter what their state of being is, they give you that glowing smile. I mean, we've somehow been able to be resilient, notwithstanding personal challenge, when we are interacting with our fellow Bermudians, and especially after they've gotten to an age of, you know, where they deserve to smile and at least, even if it's just for a couple of hours, have a good time. And last year, man, I had a blast.
So did I. So did I. I think everybody enjoyed you.
Yeah. It was so nice, and it was maybe the second time I've been to one. Maybe years ago I had been to another. This year I got a conflict because we got an event going on the same day, but that event is going on earlier in the day. So hopefully I'll be able to get away and stop by real quick, because I'm not going to be too far away from the Seventh-day Adventist school hall. Yeah. Well, it's what is the actual name of it?
It's Bermuda Institute.
Bermuda Institute, right. The school hall, that's where, again, the annual Constituency 29 Seniors Tea will be held this year on December 7th. That's a special day, man. Really special day.
It is a special day for a lot of reasons, right?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Glenn. How are you?
Good afternoon. Well, I'm doing
good.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I am doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Always a pleasure to be here with you.
Absolutely.
And spend some time together.
Yeah. We didn't get to do it as often as we used to, since you now got that awesome responsibility as deputy premier. Some of you,
I know, right?
Yeah. You're kind of like you've been missing in action for a little bit because you've been working hard.
Been missing in action here.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
We've been covering a lot of ground.
Yeah. So we're going to hear about that. So what's going on special at the Bermuda Institute Hall on the 7th of December during your seniors tea this year?
Yeah. Well, as you mentioned, on December 7th, we will host our annual Oh,
Yeah, don't worry.
Yes,
Don't worry about the music.
oh, okay. All right. Okay, you fixed it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes, well,
He says to me, "The music's still going." I know. That's what I'm playing. Music. When you're talking with the music.
all right. Okay. So let's backtrack this a little bit. So on December 7th, that'll be next Sunday
Yeah.
at Bermuda Institute School Hall. We will be hosting our annual seniors tea party. And it starts at 1 o'clock, finishes around 4.
Oh, nice.
And I say it starts at 1, Glenn, but as you know,
Yeah.
we have seniors that finish church and they come right over to the hall and they gladly wait outside for 30, 40, 45 minutes to make
Wow.
sure they get their seat.
Yeah. What's the capacity usually that you have there?
Usually around 250 to 300.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. It was packed out last year, I remember.
Oh, it certainly
Every
was.
year,
In
right.
fact, most times we have to we end up adding an extra table or two.
Okay.
Because my executive would tell you that I do things like we're doing today,
Yeah.
and then we get our seniors from all over the country. So, but we don't turn anyone away.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we look forward to it. In fact. I remember once upon a time we had just a few people showed up from other parts of the island, and some seniors used to say, "Hey, what you doing here?" But now we've all gotten used to it. All the seniors up in C29,
Yeah.
they've gotten used to it, and look, mostly everybody's related anyway.
Yeah.
But we do have a great time, and we don't turn anyone away.
Right.
And we will have most of our seniors that show up are used to it. I start getting calls in September, October every year. When is the tea party? Because I want to put it in my diary. I want to make a note. I want to put it on my fridge.
Yeah, they don't want to be off on a cruise and miss it.
That's exactly right. So, and as usual, we'll have plenty of food, entertainment, prizes, raffles, and of course, people don't pay for the raffles. We give folks raffle tickets. Everything is free. And
Okay.
if I could take a moment just to thank our sponsors. And Glenn, just about all our sponsors have been sponsoring this event for 20 years.
Wow.
20 years they've been sponsoring,
Oh,
and
that's
they
awesome.
give some really nice prizes for our seniors. And of course, it's led by Lindos, who are familiar with you. I think they're a great supporter
Oh, man.
of
Big shout out
Magic
to
and
Zach Monis. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a great supporter of Bermuda. Notwithstanding the challenges that we have with high cost of living, he's still somehow been trying, as difficult as it might be, to address some of the prices associated with the cost of food. And I think he's committed over the 6-month period to the government initiative to help bring down some of the costs of food. It's a very difficult challenge.
That would be
agreed to come.
Linda's.
Yeah, and he's agreed to come on
Great.
and speak to the challenges so that people understand from the other side what those challenges might be that are unavoidable because the suppliers in Bermuda don't necessarily have the control over the pricing from the sources.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So other sponsors are Casine, Marketplace, Lobster Pot, Arnold's. Frank Arnold has supported, obviously, for 20 years as well. The BGA group of companies, Tangles, the MEF group, Viking Foods, the Reefs, Annie's Nails, Salt and Cedar, TPC, Tucker's Point, Island Construction,
Nice.
Koha, that's Dr. Sifu Khan, whom I think you know.
Oh,
really well.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And of course, while I'm thanking the sponsors, so I don't forget, I'd also like to give a special thank you and shout out to the executive of C29, led by our chairman, Sean Simons,
Yeah.
who do so much work behind the scenes, Glenn. As you know, as a former MP, you would know what some of our executive teams do behind the scenes, and they work not only for this event, but they work for the people of the country. Next week, Thursday, I'll be delivering turkeys around C29.
Okay.
I've been doing that for 20 odd years as well.
That's awesome.
How
many turkeys do you recall having given away over the years?
Oh, well, 150 times 20, that's about 3,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've been doing that every year, and it seems to creep up every year, because I remember when we first started, it was about 50.
Okay.
So now we're up around 100, 150, 175. But some people, again, they feel, look, our seniors feel no way. They'll call me and say, look, when is Zane handing out his turkeys this year so I can expect it?
So I can be home.
Yeah. So we will be doing that.
That's excellent, Zane.
Thursday coming.
Yeah.
And we take a lot of pleasure out of doing these things. You know, we have our back to school party.
Yes.
We do a lot of things throughout the constituency through the year. We cut trees, we clean yards. We know that some seniors struggle to keep up with the
maintenance
and whatnot. So we do a lot of things, and we do a lot of other things behind the scenes.
And that would be beyond the call of duty in most situations.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And sometimes we find that some folks have had some hardship one way or the other, and we sort of contribute and take care of things behind the scenes.
That's excellent.
So, but for next Sunday, I'm excited. I have to also give a special shout out, I think, to Angela Edwards, who as you know, she is fantastic.
I thought her mom, Valerie, was a workhorse, but Angela.
Angela, she is a
say your fruit don't fall far from the tree.
No,
right?
it doesn't.
And she really loves it.
She does. She enjoys it.
She enjoys it. Yeah.
I think I should start charging her. Charge a little fee.
Yeah, she's a great MC.
and look, by the way, Glenn, she does this out of goodness of her heart.
Wow.
She also spearheads the back to school event.
Oh, wow.
For the children.
Okay.
And this year again, we had over 1,000 children come through the event.
Amazing.
And
that would be from all parts of the island, right?
Yeah. We get both those two major events. we have folks from all over the island,
right.
But we manage. We do.
Yeah.
And if I have to give a shout out, I have to give a shout out to Talani Beaufort from Horseshoe Bay Live. Yeah,
he's incredible. What an inspiring young entrepreneur.
And you know, Glenn, he calls me and says, Zane, how many hot dogs would you like this year? How many hamburgers would you like?
Wow.
He chips in and does his thing, and he started that a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't go after him; he came after me.
Wow.
And Talani is, I hope I think he does well. I hope he continues to really do well, because he deserves it.
He deserves it.
He works hard.
Yeah.
And
he spreads the love around.
He does.
By way of supporting people.
He does.
He supports this company. In fact, he's a platinum sponsor of the 2 weeks of magic that we're having between December 1st and 12th. And he's going to also be participating in a couple of the events as well. Yeah. And the one thing I'd like to say, since you mentioned Tulani, because we've interviewed him a few times, we're going to be interviewing him again as well. But I had the opportunity to be graciously treated at Horseshoe Bay. And I must tell you, I was so impressed with the young people that acquit themselves to demonstrate the epitome of service that Bermuda was once renowned for in hospitality.
No, he has a great crew, and many of them are young, as you know.
Yep.
And I think he takes pride in making sure that they treat our visitors and our locals with the great hospitality that one expects. And so he deserves a lot of credit for what he's not only done to show his entrepreneurship in the country as a young black man in particular, but how he's trained his staff.
Yes.
He deserves a lot of credit.
The way they greet you,
the
service is par excellence. I said, I'm on a beach, man. You're treating me like I'm in a
five-star
hotel.
restaurant,
Yeah,
right?
restaurant. Yeah, mercy.
No, he's done
But
really well.
Very
He's
well,
done
and
really
it's
well.
great to know that he has taken the initiative himself to recognize where there is a need and stepped up without being asked to assist on a positive initiative that not only demonstrates his entrepreneurial success because he's able to do it, but it shows his commitment to the community above and beyond the call of duty as well, because it's a cost associated with providing goods for people to enjoy when they're coming to enjoy the activities at the back to school event annually.
Yeah.
I got an idea for you. I think it would be huge, especially for the children and for the kids and for the students, with the parents as well, where the students could have some fun laughing at the parents. Have a gymkhana.
Okay.
With push bikes and paddle bikes only.
Okay.
And let the grandmothers and fathers and mothers and aunts and uncles do some competition on push bikes.
Okay.
Whether they have to ride the push bike to a bucket and get the apple out of
Right.
water, and then at the end of it all, you could have the kids and the grandparents have a tug of war. No, that might cause some heart attack or something. I don't want that to happen. But
Well, we have a tug of war now every
you do?
year.
Oh, okay.
And some of the older folks do take
Do
part.
take
I
part
do.
in it.
I do. I'm a senior now, Glenn.
So
But we have a tug. We have a great tug of war every year.
Okay, add on that gymkhana, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay.
And have some nice prizes for it as well.
All right.
Related to going back to school.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I know you like that idea.
I do.
I remember the
I like
police
that
used to
one.
have a gymkhana at White Hill Field every
Oh,
year.
yes, they did.
Very
I
popular.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
And that would be a part of a public relations exercise that would be directly interactively involving the community, that softens the perception that might be out of context that people have about the police.
Well, I'll tell you, Glenn, every year, and I have to give a shout out to James Howard in particular.
Oh, yeah.
At the police service, because every year he sends a couple of bikes,
Okay.
police bikes,
So that the
and
kids can have some
children
fun
and the
looking at 'em
children
and
do
stuff.
that. They get on
Yeah.
the bikes and they
Yeah.
do that. Also, Jay Donovan at the fire service.
Oh, yeah,
He
another
sends the
good
fire
guy.
trucks down. The kids love it. They get up
Nice.
there and they blow the horn, start the siren. So
Yeah.
even though today is about our seniors,
Yeah.
it's nice to reflect on some of the
of
things and
course.
some of the people that support us
Yeah.
and have supported us for 20 years.
Yeah, at both events.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So let's get into, and we will remind people again, the day, time, venue of the annual Constituency 29 Seniors Tea at the Bermuda Institute School Hall when we wind up our conversation. But on a serious note, a couple of things, and I'm going to start and go straight into the Lion's Den with this one, because I believe Southampton Rangers is in your constituency.
It is.
Yeah. And of course, last weekend, there was some sort of a melee as a result of dysfunctional behavior that caused a disruption in a sports event where I believe the Devonshire Colts was going to play Paget. And there was this outbreak of antisocial behavior. Southampton Rangers, I wouldn't say has a stigma, but it doesn't surprise people at football clubs in various areas of the island when these kinds of incidences happen. It hasn't been a real proliferation of it in recent years, I don't think, but these one-off situations or these infrequent situations is enough to cause concern, because when you look at the totality of the kind of antisocial behavior that we are having, it causes great consternation and concern.
It sure does.
Yeah.
And it's sad because I know that Butchie Burcho in particular,
He's the president, isn't he?
who's taken over at the club, he's trying really, really hard.
Yeah.
In fact, this is next weekend, he's going to have an event at Rangers, which is hopefully going to, again, try to pull the community together. I was off island when this happened last week. and of course I got the news very quickly. It saddens me to think that, and you and I grew up in a time where we used to have 3, 5, 6,000 people watching football games on the weekend.
Easily.
I mean, and that's what we did. We enjoyed it. Everyone loved it. It was competitive. But you never had any of this nonsense that's taking place today. So it's really concerning, but it's really saddening as well to think that, you know, we can have a sports, just a football game without having to worry about, you know, someone going to come out.
And see, this is what the perception becomes that could be even exaggerated, which causes incredible challenge for the Bermuda Football Association, because the gate receipts would be down, and for the clubs, because people just don't want to be bothered if there is just the slightest risk of this
antisocial behavior.
Absolutely. And it's really sad. And if we don't, as a community, address it by policing ourselves in ways that will be responsible in contributing to a more conducive environment around these kinds of sporting events, it's not going to get any better. Now, here's the thing that concerns me, and that is the behavior of people that are die-hard football fans that will go to the football games no matter what anyway. I'm hearing, and I've not been to one in a while because I just don't like to hear the kind of language that is unbelievable. It's not only going on outside of the field, but on the field where the spectators can hear it. So who on a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon wants to take their young boy or girl who might be just getting into a great football program at North Village or Somerset or PHC
or Rangers,
Colts or Rangers, to be exposed to adults demonstrating the kind of behavior that is counterproductive to developing them as responsible citizens of this community? Where is the level of cognitive realization that you influence people who observe your behavior, who might be inclined to accept that that behavior is okay? Because notwithstanding us just being here in little old Bermuda, we are connected globally. So pop culture is having a direct influence on us because of technology and having the ability to access all kinds of manner of content on social media. So it's not a quantum leap. It's just like, hey, I can copycat. Yeah, that's what's acceptable around the world or in New York or California or whatever. How do we begin to address this from a political perspective without the community giving some level of buy-in? I mean, everybody points to the politicians and the police to fix everything, but the police and the politicians are not really causing the problem and don't have all of the answers to actually address the problem.
That's right. And you will know, you've heard enough. You've heard the Commissioner of Police, you've heard Minister Weeks, Minister of National Security, say on numerous occasions around the country, especially in the last 3 weeks, because he had 3 town hall meetings, which I attended, the one in the West.
Okay.
And of course, you will know, Glenn, that we've been saying this for years. As much as this anti-social behavior is taking place, is that the governments and police can only do so much.
Yeah.
It's a community, man.
Absolutely.
We you know, our cousins, our families, our friends are you know, all have a responsibility to do what we can to arrest the problem.
You know, we hear the term, there are 2 Bermudas. On this issue, is there any bigger example about the polarization of the community when it comes to collectively looking at ways to address the solution? It seems that everyone has accepted it's a black problem, so no other ethnic group should even be concerned about contributing in ways that could help, right? And as a result, their hands are opposite. Like, not my problem, it's not on my doorstep. Yet it's not our problem. It's not my problem. It's those people. You know, they're like animals anyway. We shouldn't expect anything better. I mean, that is the perception. And when the kind of activity that's going on that will be described as dysfunctional behavior manifests itself, it kind of gives substantiation to that perspective. And it's not true, because on the other side of the coin, you could look at a Collage Simons, who just spoke and articulated as fluent as I've ever heard a 16-year-old speak in the House of Power in the United Kingdom, being the House of Commons, representing Bermuda. Right? And then at the Bermuda Progressive Labour Party gala banquet, which you and I attended, she again spoke, and so fluently. And then I read, I think, a couple of days ago on air, her resume. My resume doesn't even come close to touching hers.
It's impressive.
At 16 years old. Very impressive.
And I think, you know what, Glenn, sometimes just talking about her.
And it's a public school system student that came from the very beginning of her education to where she is now at Berkeley Institute through the public school system. And I've often said, it's not only the system, it's the people that operate in the system, which would be the parents, the students, and the teachers.
Support, family support.
Yeah, you could have any system. If you're not contributing in a way that optimizes results-driven programs and curriculum, then what do you expect at the end of the day? You can't just point at the system. You got to point at the people that are operating the system, including the government that has oversight of the public system. But they again can't be the do-all, end-all.
They can only do so much.
If there's no cooperation from parents, from the students, from the faculty.
The village.
The village.
Yeah.
The village.
It's so true. It's so true. But, you know, she is a shining example of what we don't hear about enough, because we have a hell of a lot of talent in Bermuda amongst our young people. And
I agree.
That's why when I hear about and I witness young people involved, whether it's in sports and different organizations, I have no hesitation to lend my support, whether it be in person or otherwise. And I've constantly done that over decades now. And it's a shame that we have some of the antisocial behavior that we do, because we have so much talent. We have so many young people that are doing so many positive things in our community. And we have to make sure, again, and government can't do it alone, we have to make sure we encourage, we have to make sure that we tell our young people that we love them and we want them to do well. We support them and we compliment them. And if you talk to anyone that may have been mixed up in some of that antisocial activity, and I've certainly read enough about that activity and some of the former members of that particular type of antisocial behavior, and they will tell you that, you know what they were looking for? Love. A lot of our young men, if they're looking for love, they're looking for relationship, and in particular with their father or men, fellow men. And I think that is something that we need to push more. You know, our young people, and now you got to grip them when they're 10, 11, 12 years old. And we got to really support them as much as we possibly can. Because if we start to peel back the layers, Glenn, I don't see any little white boys killing one another. So we have to peel back the layers. We have to be honest, and we have to say, now listen, what's going on with our country and why? Why is it only this segment of our community? And I think that's where we have to.
You know, I think, that is just the tip of the iceberg, but so relevant, because we're talking about generational trauma based on the polarization of this country that has restricted a certain segment of the community from access to opportunity. Just access to opportunity. Starting from as recently ago as the 1950s and 60s, where segregation was alive and well in this community.
It weren't that long ago.
It weren't that long ago. And what did that tell you? What did that demonstrate? What was the takeaway from being treated in ways that, based on your color, allowed you to be discriminated against? Whether it was not being able to get employment, whether it was not being able to go into a place of entertainment through the front door, even if you were the entertainer.
Furtherment of education.
Education as well.
Starting businesses.
Buying
your first home.
Oh, going on and on. And when you look at what has been done, particularly under the Progressive Labor Party banner, there's still much to be done.
Sure is.
But you cannot deny geared to income rent, initiatives for first-time homeowners. As recently as just maybe this year or last year, the option of persons who felt extremely challenged because of not being potentially able to satisfy their mortgage installment payments due to the high interest rates. And the government made it possible for homeowners who had that kind of challenge to choose, if they so desired, for pragmatic reasons, to source another financial institution to take over the mortgage.
And not pay stamp duty.
That
was one of the key reasons.
That's huge.
That's right. And that was one of the key reasons why folks didn't refinance.
Yeah.
Because the stamp duty and the penalties and all that.
And just the conveyance alone, when you're going to buy a home, and what you have to pay to lawyers to get all the legal work done. It is so prohibitive. How do you get to start as a young person who's 25 years old, just entered the workforce, and has decided on settling down? They've saved some pennies to get a down payment. They've got the sustainable income, whether in the trades, whether in international business, and they are working with a partner with a vision to own a home. And everything associated with purchasing the home and getting title to it is prohibitive and restrictive.
Well, the good news is that as Minister of Housing, I met with the CEO and next in charge at BCB Bank last week.
Okay, that's Bermuda Commercial Bank.
That's correct. And we are having a meeting next week.
Okay.
We've set it up with the hierarchy of the Bermuda Housing Corporation.
Okay.
Bermuda Land Management Company. And we are going to talk about what they can do to help our people in this country to get their first homes. Now, as Minister of Housing, one of the things you may have heard me say, I have two main goals. I want to produce homes that are affordable for our people to rent, and I want to produce homes, affordable homes for our people to buy.
Right.
And
what do you consider, given the going rate of a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, maybe a 4-bedroom, what do you consider the going rate as being affordable?
Well, that's interesting.
Comparatively speaking.
No, that's interesting.
Because you're talking about the square foot of the footprints at a construction cost that exponentially goes up every single year.
Well, you will know, Glenn.
I remember it was like $120 way back in the 90s a square foot.
Sure
What is it now?
Anywhere from
you gotta be
700 to 1100.
That's incredible.
It is. But there's good news coming. Now, I can't give away too much today.
Okay.
But you know me.
Yes, sir.
My goal is to produce homes. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm trying to get it done before Christmas.
Okay. Oh, wow.
I will announce a 10-year national housing strategy.
Okay.
because it's a 10-year strategy, I want people to know, and I gave a hint yesterday at the press conference at the Battery, that next year, before December 31st, we will have a minimum of 100 new homes in this country.
Wow.
100 minimum.
Yeah.
And let's just put a pin in that one right there.
And that would be for ownership.
This is going to be for rent.
Oh, for rent. Okay.
Okay. Now, you will know that the Progressive Labor Party started the rent geared to income.
Yeah, geared to rent
Right?
income. Yeah. Perimeter Lane and Cranbrook Butterfield Lane and Somerset, etc.
That's correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we have that in mind, and what we want to do is first of all, we have one of the first things I did when I came into the ministry is I had the Housing Corporation to break up the amount of people on the list with regard to where they stood.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, let's have three categories: critical, urgent, and the need to just have a cheaper place to rent.
Right.
So we did that. Mm-hmm. So I know exactly how many people on that list are critical, urgent, and just want a cheaper place.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So my goal is to get rid of critical and urgent as quickly as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I would like to think by December 31st, 2026, if it's not eliminated, we will have put a significant dent in that number.
Okay. Okay.
And that will happen. The Premier and I is going to meet this week. I've been working very, very hard, and so is my team. I have to give them congratulations. The teams that have been working with me, whether it's Bermuda Housing Corporation, a few people that I have in my ministry, because it's a new ministry, it's only a handful of us.
Okay.
And also the Bermuda Land Management Company, Andrew Diaz and his team.
Okay.
We have been meeting on a regular, hundreds of hours, and looking at different methods of construction. We got to a point.
Doesn't include containers?
No, this is not containers.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about containers for just a quick second.
Yeah.
And it shows you how the Royal Gazette works in this country. I had a press conference at the Battery in St. George's and unveiled the plans for 12 additional units, traditional, that's concrete, block,
And mortar.
in this country.
Right.
What's the headline today? DeSilva outlines containers, housing.
Unbelievable.
So, okay, I know what time it is. And let's be clear. I have ordered 11 homes, emergency homes.
Okay.
Glenn, we have, as you know, we have people sleeping in cars, sleeping in trees. I know of several homes where there are 10 people in a 2-bedroom home. That's not conducive to good living.
Right.
And it has all sorts of other problems that come along with that.
Give me just 1 second. I have my international guest on the line.
Okay.
I'm going to just take that. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Listen, I'm in a current interview. Would it be inappropriate to impose upon you to give me maybe another half an hour?
Not a problem at all.
Wonderful. And Gianluca will be joining us as well in about a half an hour. So let's say at right now in Bermuda, it's 2:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. It's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. I'm sorry. 3 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time. And you're on Eastern Standard Time?
I'm Pacific, so it's it'll be 11 Pacific.
Okay, so let's talk about 11:30 your time.
That works.
Beautiful. Thank you. Look forward to speaking with you soon.
Same here.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right. So we got
So
that.
see if I can get us back on track.
Yeah.
Okay, just to be clear, we have ordered 11 emergency homes. That's 8 capsules, we call them, which are not containers.
Right.
We have 3 expandable, they call them container homes, Glenn, but they expand. They're not. I want people to really understand, we know what containers are because everybody in the country knows that we import just about everything in 20-foot and 40-foot containers.
Right.
That is not what we're doing.
Okay.
These are cold container homes because they look like containers when they're shipped, but they expand to beautiful 2 and 3 bedroom homes, if you like.
Okay. And what's the footprint?
And I've got...
What's the square footage? Do you know?
Well, they vary because I've got... two bedrooms and a 3-bedroom.
Okay.
So they're nice, comfortable. And Glenn, I can't wait to get them installed.
Okay.
I can't wait to install the capsules. I'll gladly live in one of those myself. That's how nice they are.
Yeah.
So let's put that to bed. Is that not all of a sudden we're going to order 250 containers? People would cut a couple of windows in them and be good. That's not the case.
Right.
But the good news is that we did unveil yesterday that we will have 12 new homes in the Battery in St. David's, and they will be ready by August next year.
Wow, that's impressive. And by October of next year, November of next year, you could have greater responsibility if things go your way.
I could do.
Yeah.
I could do.
Yeah.
But you know what, Glenn? My focus right now, really, truly, is strictly on housing and for our people.
Okay.
There are a lot of people that you can imagine I get approached every day. You know, you should breathe your premier, can't wait till you premier, things like that. And I tell people, look, thank you very much, but my concentration right now is on housing for our people, and it is.
Yeah.
I take so many calls every day, Glenn, from folks that are struggling. Just before I got here, I had to sit in my car for 5 minutes talking to a young lady that has a son, and she's got to be out by December 31st. She signed up at BHC. She's been talking to some of her people. She's looking for a place. And so I hear it every day.
Sure.
Trust
and
me.
you know, sometimes it could be the tenant's fault because of the way they disrespect the property. Other times it could be the landlord who has a similar experience with a relative, and they want to provide assistance to the relative.
And I've heard all those stories. And you will know that we are currently looking at the Landlord and Tenant
Act,
all right, which is as old as the hills.
Yeah. Okay.
The good thing is that early indications are that we will revise that legislation. And the good thing is that both the tenant and the landlord need further protections.
Right.
And I think that the path that we're on, I think that the country will be happy where we end up. Because there are some tenants that are right pain in the neck, and there are some landlords that are right pain in the neck too.
Absolutely.
So what we need is the process is what hurts everyone on both sides. And I think that if we can streamline the process to get to resolutions, I think the country will be very happy.
Municipalities. Significant victory at the Privy Council level?
Yes, it was, yeah.
So there's no turn back now. There's no other avenue to address those that would have lost.
Correct.
At the Privy Council.
And let me say, Glenn, that you might recall, I think you were in the House at the time, when I was the Minister without portfolio, but I brought the change of legislation. And you might recall that there was a segment of the community that marched on me.
I remember.
They came up to the House and they rocked my car.
They were rambunctious.
Yes, they were.
Yeah. And I must say they were a lighter shade of pale for the most part.
Yes, they were.
Overwhelmingly so.
Yes, they were.
I would say it would be at least 90% of the Caucasian community in this country that were upset.
Yes, they were. So it's ironic that I happen to be the minister and the municipalities is under my remit. But I did meet immediately with the Corporation of Hamilton staff and St. George's staff.
Okay.
And I wanted to assure them, because you know the rumor mill in Bermuda turns quickly, and I wanted to assure them that, listen, no one's losing any jobs. It's not going to be any smash and grabs. It's not going to be any drastic things that happen. Right? No, there will be changes. What I did undertake to make sure that I kept them in the loop, and I'm talking about the staff.
Okay. Because we see in the private sector what's happening with Belco, right? They claim that they have challenges and they need to run a tighter shop. They may be looking at attrition, but also they're looking at packages that would be conducive to them downsizing as far as manpower is concerned. I think many businesses, not just here in Bermuda, but throughout the world, are looking at various options, not to say the least of those options being as a result of what could be saved in operational costs because of the application of artificial intelligence that is going to be taking some folks' jobs.
The next couple of years will be interesting in that space.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk, as you know, worldwide about the effects of
artificial
AI,
intelligence. Yeah.
So, but yes, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I love a challenge.
Yeah.
So I do have the municipalities, which I will sink my teeth into in the coming weeks and months. So I look forward to that challenge, and. But right now, I can tell you my main focus is on housing.
On housing, okay.
We just have a situation in the country where, people are very, very, very much in need, and I hear it. I hear it every day, Glenn. I kid you not.
Yeah.
If I don't get 2 or 3, 4 calls a day, I don't get any.
Yeah.
And I like to respond to people.
Yeah.
I like to take the calls. I like to talk to them. I've let some people know what my immediate plans are. I can't produce 100 homes in a week, but I can produce 100 homes in a year.
Yeah.
And
these
with God's will, I will achieve that. Trust me.
And these are not the modified, prefabricated homes.
No, we're talking about modular homes and precast homes.
Okay.
Which can be erected very, very quickly.
Okay.
So I'm
and of course, you would have done the due diligence with respect to the specs regarding stability,
weather conditions, hurricanes,
and that kind of thing.
All of that. Of course, that's 101.
And where in the world, for example, would there be these model homes?
Well,
currently?
I'll tell you. Kino Ferber-Jacobs, who works at Bermuda Housing Corporation, was in Brazil and Argentina recently to look at the capsules, capsule homes. He kicked the tires. He certainly he done the due diligence.
Okay.
So I'm very happy with Kino. He's very qualified.
Okay.
And he said, Minister, we'll be okay with those. Our people will be just fine. He has also had...
What about the practicality of it all? It makes sense because, of course, that would be a knock-on impact for consumers who are in need of houses. Number one, having a home to rent. Number two, the other thing is that they will be affordable. What about the aesthetics?
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Okay. They fit the Bermuda kind of context, even though our traditional homes are a lot different.
Yes, it's going to cost us a little bit more, but we have explained to folk that, listen, we don't just want to put up boxes. We'd like them to look attractive. We'd like them. Will they look like a traditional Bermuda home? No. But I think you'll be pleased. I think the country will be pleased when they see what we produce.
Nice. Just to my co-host for my next special guest, he's going to be calling back. He already I spoke with him. He's going to be calling back at 11:30 a.m. his time on the West Coast. So we're good.
3:30 our time.
3:30
all right,
our
beautiful.
time. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Right. So, there are so many challenges. It's a team effort. It's collective responsibility. You're dealing not in a silo, but you have a remit that you have to answer to the person who's given you the awesome responsibility, whom has the prerogative to choose who will be a part of that team with those kinds of responsibilities at the cabinet level. There's so much going on, and we often hear, politicians must get used to the idea of chewing gum and walking at the same time.
Absolutely.
In the proverbial sense, right? So you would have to be talking with your Minister of Economy and Labor, because this will involve at some point in time him.
Minister of Planning?
Minister of Planning. Alexa Leipern, what's her
She's affordable. She's looking at everything affordable.
Right.
Everything home affairs. She's looking at
home affairs.
Yeah.
Right, there you go.
So she's looking at. I call her Minister of Affordability.
Okay, and then you have Jashay Adams, works in engineering.
Yeah.
And we've been hearing folks talk about the road conditions. I'm going to have him on. He's booked to be on in the near future.
And he's making good headway. A lot of the roads are being repaired.
Absolutely. And the thing is, I've been to many places, nice places, that are beautiful, aesthetically so, got great culture, islands to the south of us. Their roads don't compare to our roads, even in the worst condition our roads might be.
I think it's important, if we're going to talk about our roads, is that several years ago, Colonel Birch, who is a former Minister of Public Works, said, listen, the utility company's infrastructure is shot.
Needs to be upgraded.
If we do not upgrade it, we're going to start having blackouts, people losing electricity on a regular. He said, listen, the roads are going to be in rough shape for several years. He constantly reminded the public in the House of Assembly via ministerial statements and otherwise. But now we're starting to see the fruits of getting our roads back up to par. You will know also, Glenn, 2 years ago we had our heaviest rainfall on record for the whole year. We had a lot of rain. That's not good for our roads, especially roads that have just recently been trenched.
Absolutely.
So, and of course, as Murphy's Law will get you, it got us. Because on top of that, the asphalt plant broke
what
down.
could go wrong will go wrong.
Yeah,
and then, of course, he was very transparent on what the vision was, what the plan was, and it was a practical plan. There was also a timeline associated with it because you have to order the equipment and all of that kind of good stuff. Then after it arrives, you need to have the Bermudians trained on the operation, and he explained it in full detail. People still aren't satisfied, even though they will see there is improvement. It may not be as fast as you would like, but the attempt is being made. You can't just pick out one road going up in Somerset and one maybe in Devonshire and forget about 4 other roads that are being worked on. I mean, it's just disingenuous.
And the
because
other thing
if there was no effort being made, there would be credence. You can criticize it's being done too slowly. You can criticize that the roads, still in disrepair, but on the other side of the coin, give some acknowledgement that work is being done and there is an attempt to get it right, and there is a reason why they are the way they are, and you've had explanations. No one's run away because all of us, whether we're part of politicians or millionaires or poor folk, are using the same roads.
Yeah. And I drive from the west to and from a couple of times a day. Nobody felt those roads more than me. But what's important too is that you have to realize that when you dig a trench and you backfill it and you then put down a layer of asphalt, you cannot just come back and say, well, I'll just asphalt this whole road. You have to give it time to settle.
They call it curing.
Curing. Right. If not, you'll do it 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
So you have to allow for a period of time for settlement to take place. Then you come back and you mill out the asphalt. Then you can asphalt the whole road.
Gotcha.
You have to wait for that period of time.
Wow. On homes again, and I'd just like to say, to my works in engineering minister, I'm very proud of your performance. I have no complaints at all because the effort is being made.
And he is trying really, really hard. He has a huge responsibility, and he's trying very hard.
And the thing that really impresses me is that we have a significant number of women and a significant number of young people that have stepped up in the face of the criticism that they know they will not be insulated from, to still commit to doing the job that needs to be done. I would like people to call me and tell me who they think would be better positioned, better qualified, better able to do what they would like to see done faster than it's being done. Now, there could be those that would disagree with the strategy and the prioritizing of what is being done. But when you have Minister Lipin, who's looking at the cost of living, you have Minister Adams dealing with the infrastructure issues, we have Minister, Deputy Leader, and Deputy Premier Zane DeSilva looking to house the people that are in dire need of accommodation. You have Minister Hayward, who is keeping an eye on labor and the economy, and very transparent with regard to the data that he's providing.
Provides a lot of it.
Whether people want to ignore it or not, they can't say they're not getting the information.
That's true.
They can say that there are not policies being addressed. We have restricted categories in the labor force, but when you don't have Bermudians to fill the jobs, what do you say to the business person who needs the labor?
It's a balance. You have to strike
It's
that.
a very delicate balance.
It's a very delicate.
And then everybody's talking about we need 8,000, 10,000 more people. Well, okay, I hear that, but I want to hear the rationale with regard to the unintended consequences that could come with that. Again, sometimes success brings even greater challenge.
Well, Glenn, Fairmont's going to open next year.
We can't go out. We got to go up. Environmentalists don't want us to go up. Why not? I could hear
we took care of that. That's been fixed.
Yeah, but I could hear you saying, notwithstanding it being fixed, I'm talking about the basis for the critique. I could hear you saying, I don't think it would be a good thing to have a skyscraper. I would agree. But if you're going to go to 12 stories,
what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Well,
sustainable.
Watch that space for housing too.
Yeah, sustainable development doesn't mean no development at all.
That's right. That's right.
So some people, just for the sake of criticizing, will criticize because they don't agree with the politics. And that's where I get really edgy. Because you just can't criticize for criticism's sake. Criticize and make it constructive by counter-proposing what is being proposed with a better idea. Simple as that. And then let everybody hear what your idea is and how you would get it done. And maybe if that idea is so good, it might be to your chagrin if you really want to see the power, because if it's that good, maybe the incumbent would take it on and do it. Maybe even a little better, because they might tweak it, because you didn't completely refine it to the optimum level that it could be done. So when it comes to the politics, we get that.
It's okay to complain.
It's okay,
but you should have solutions.
But you got to have some solutions too. You know, the disrepair of homes, where there could be legal battles, or there could be other legal issues that prevent the government from doing anything at all. That's one thing you need to set aside, because it is in dispute for whatever reason. But where there are houses that are in disrepair that are not in dispute, the government has invited the homeowners of those properties to come forward. We will provide the resources to upgrade it. We will then offset the investment by managing the property and ensuring that we get back either all of the investment or part of it. And as soon as whatever the caveats or the agreements are, once that is met and is full compliance, the home is returned to you.
If that's what the homeowner wants.
If that's what
they also have the choice
to sell,
after
right?
the 7-year time period has lapsed and the loan has been repaid. They also have the option of, listen, I like this deal. Housing Corporation, just send me a check every month, and it's all yours. And I don't have the tenant issues. I don't have to worry about it. The place is empty
or anything like that.
I don't have to worry about the maintenance. Just send me a check every month.
So, you know, for folks that just want to criticize for criticism's sake and just act as if there's nothing being done, you know, it begs the question, when I, through my eyes, see things that I would describe as being a bit ambiguous. Because when I can't get COVID, I could park anywhere in the city, okay, I so choose.
Yeah.
Now, I can't find parking spaces anywhere. Now, the gridlock, early mornings, late evenings, is even worse than it was before COVID. In my humble opinion, means a lot of people are working. A lot of cars on the road.
Have the lowest employment rate we've had in decades.
So that is a manifestation of something that's happening that wasn't happening before. We want to pretty much ignore and unceremoniously dismiss the way the country was managed during COVID. It wasn't perfect, but we did, for this small country without any natural resources, far greater for our people than many other countries.
We certainly did.
We supplemented people that weren't able to work because of the restriction on movement.
Caring government.
You can't. How else do you describe
That's
it?
right.
And what value do you put on that in assessing those you chose to make decisions in the public best interest? You gotta sometimes give credit where credit is due, while still keeping the fire under the seat of those that are responsible for delivering on promises that were made.
We are not a perfect government, Glenn, but I think our record shows that our hearts are for the people of this country.
Well, look at the commitment that Minister Tanae Furbert has made with policies in her ministry directly impacting seniors. We had a group of them in yesterday being interviewed, and she is very transparent. I'm very impressed with her.
Very much so, and I work closely with her.
Okay.
Because she does, a large part of her job is to look after our seniors, and a large part of mine is going to be doing the same with regard to housing.
Okay.
So we do work very close.
Yeah.
We are working on a few programs at the moment that will be unveiled in the new year that I think are going to make a lot of people in the country happy with regard to what she has been doing and what she's going to do. And I think some of the things that I'm doing is going to dovetail really, really nicely into her ministry.
Okay.
So we're excited about it. I'm super excited about housing, Glenn. I can't, I'm not jumping up and down in the studio, but I'll tell you what.
And is that because you have a construction background? I mean, you've been around it all your life, so you understand it as well as anybody would?
I understand it, but I also understand the situation where our people find themselves. I don't forget, when I took my first apartment, my weekly wage didn't cover my rent. I know what that feels like.
Sure.
I know what it feels like that, listen, after I did pay my rent, I didn't have enough money to buy a loaf of bread. So I had to say,
to say the least, peanut butter.
Yeah. Well, I tell many people many times this story. You probably heard it. When my wife and I first got married, our dinner, a night out for dinner, was peanut butter sandwich, sit up on Whale Bay Fort and watch the sun go down.
Wow.
And we done that many a night. Because that's where we were in life.
Yeah, and then having the commitment requires levels of sacrifice, because things ain't gonna always go your way, and even when they are going as bad as you think they could, sometimes it gets even worse.
Well, the guy told me a story once. He said, Zane, cheer up, things could be worse. I cheered up and they got worse. Then I said, what am I gonna do now?
Magic 102.7, good afternoon, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I realized that you got your overseas call come from the West Coast in 5 minutes. I'm down the east, and I'm probably a minute ahead of you because the sun rises up.
Heard that.
Yeah. I know Zane knows who's on this line, and I know you do too, Glenn.
Yes, sir.
Softman.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I just want to say to...
I've finally forgiven you for trying to nominate me for a position.
let me say, Glenn.
You are so mischievous.
Let me say this. When you want to get something done, you give that, put that on somebody that's busy, right?
Oh.
And for Zane to be given these this portfolio, I can guarantee you things will get done. I probably know Zane as good as anybody in this island.
That's true.
And I'm just so proud to see that he's taking the bull by the horns. No one would be more dedicated to getting to the bottom of this problem we have. And I just feel so confident. My only problem with Zane was he came down to in my territory and didn't let me know he was coming. I would have been there with my wife and taken pictures of it down at the Battery.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Right.
You'll get an opportunity. That was just the first one, the Arthur.
Okay. All the best. And again, you just done it again, man. I'll say it again. The country owes you a credit.
I'll second that.
For what you do.
I'll second that.
On your radio station.
Well, thank you.
So, guys, have a great weekend. And I'll be listening in to this gentleman coming on from the West Coast.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Buddy.
Okay, take care. Have a wonderful weekend.
If I could say one thing about Arthur Pitcher, we used to work together, Glenn.
Okay.
We built how you talk about different building methods. We built a house up at Cavallo Bay where we dry stacked the block and we just put the plaster on the outside.
Oh, wow.
That house is still standing today. It's right out on Cavallo Bay Point,
which
is open to all and any hurricanes and high winds.
Exactly.
And that house is
and a lot of
standing
them
today
starts
as
from up there
firm as
and
ever.
coming down
That's
the
right.
south of the
Firm as ever.
shoreline. Wow.
But I have to give a thank you to Arthur and an apology. I'll give the apology first because I should have known better that if I'm going to hold a press conference in St. David's,
you got to go.
I certainly should have invited him. I should have invited him to be there. But I won't forget him in the future. But I have to thank him because during those early days when his brother, myself, and James Pace used to work together, we worked together
Would
for
that
years.
be Alvin?
No, Oliver.
Oh, Oliver, the cricketer. Yeah.
So that's
Arthur was a good
OJ,
cricketer as well.
my nephew OJ, who you know has done very well for St. George's over the years, and of course is a very, very good golfer.
Yeah. Oh, is he? I didn't realize.
Oh yes. He's a pro.
Oh,
he's a pro.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So OJ has done well, but no, I would like to thank Arthur because he is a little older than me, and I have to say that during those years we worked together, I would think that he instilled the work ethic that I carried for, and I still carry today. So I do thank him for that.
Great. Magic 102.7. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Real quick, good afternoon, gentlemen. Zane, how are you? It's
I'm doing
Viola.
fine, thank you.
You look pretty spiffy on the news yesterday. Haircut, cheeks all fat.
Well, thank you, Cielo.
Hey, and the one good thing, he lost the mohawk.
Yeah, but it was a little peak on the top. Listen, my question is this, sir, because you mentioned this second phase and how it's, I think you said 5% of a budget allocated. Keeping in mind you're talking 11 expandable units and the 12 announced yesterday, and they're not going to be ready to
next August. Yeah,
right. That's a small number when it comes to that waiting list, which you said is just over 300 families, meaning just over 1,000 people. That's like, I'm wondering if it's only 5% of the budget, why you don't have 12 more sites in progress at 5% each going on. Like you're talking a long time for people sleeping in cars.
Let me help you out, Cielo, in case you missed it. I announced yesterday, and I will have further announcements in the next 2 weeks, but we will have a minimum of 100 new homes by December 31st next year.
The other thing I want to ask you, this expandable home idea is sort of like deja vu. When Asheville was ministered 20 plus years ago, people made a lot of noise. Are you hearing that resistance this time?
Actually, I've heard a few, but the thing is, I think that when people see what we're doing now, remember, I have 8 capsules coming in, which are totally different These are enclosed units. They're not expandable containers. We're bringing in 3 of the expandable container homes. I hate that word container, but it is what it is. But they're expandable homes that will be very, very nice. I think when people see them, Ciola, and if people come up, when we have the opening and people come up and walk through them and they see them, they can say, my gosh, this is beautiful.
Last question. How do they compare when it comes to hurricane force and all that?
Yeah.
Well, we've done the work on that, and they will withstand hurricane force winds.
And you said you had that seniors party for 20 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you've been an MP how long?
18.
Well, I think I'm getting old covering that again.
Hey, the food is great.
Well, just think, Ciola, look, when you become a senior in 10 years' time, you'll be able to come to one.
Yeah, I think since I'm, out of here for Christmas, I might just try and hobble walk. But, I join seniorhood next year. So.
Oh, congratulations.
No, you stop telling Fields. You got 10 more years.
Well, I'm a grandmother now.
Oh, my.
Oh, double congratulations.
Well, look, you know what, Ciola? You don't have to wait till next year. You can come down next Sunday for a little cup of tea and cake,
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can get a bus pass early.
Okay, all right.
Have a great weekend. Thank you, C. Well, any final words, Minister? Thank you so much for availing yourself at short notice.
You're welcome. I just want to remind the people of the country that I am leaving no stone unturned when it comes to housing for our people. A lot of work has been done over the last 8-9 months. People will see the plan within the next few weeks. So that's a housing done. But I would like to remind our seniors that next Sunday, December 7th, at Bermuda Institute School Hall, we will hold our annual Seniors Tea Party starting at 1 o'clock and going until 4. I look forward to seeing all my beautiful seniors there and having some fun. And I'm just excited. I hope you can make it back up, Glenn, because everybody loved you last year.
I'm going to try my darndest.
If it weren't so close to Christmas, I would have changed it.
Yeah.
Right? But it was just so close to Christmas. I said, you know what? We better
go ahead with it. Yeah.
But thank you, Glenn.
And,
thank you for last year. I mean, you don't realize it, but I got so many compliments after that. Say, what? People love to have you. I mean,
oh wow.
You know what people know what you like when you get behind that mic. I don't have to tell them. They listen to you every week.
Well, thank you so much, Minister, once again. The phone's going, but we have another guest that we're expecting to call in long distance. Keep up the good work. Continued blessings, and be healthy, be safe, and we look forward to speaking with you in the new year. In the interim, have a wonderful, wonderful Seniors Tea celebration, of which I'm going to do my best to attend, even if it's for just 5 minutes. And for you, Joanne, Zane Jr., and Zara, and the grandkids, have a wonderful Yuletide season holiday. And,
thank you, Glenn.
We look forward.
And you and Gwen and your beautiful family as well.
Thank you. And we look forward to speaking with you in the not too distant future.
Yes, sir.
2026.
Yes, sir.
Which is just around the corner.
It certainly is. Thanks again, Glenn.
102.7 WMJ FM Bermuda. Magic 102.7.
Bermuda. The Ministry of Home Affairs is pleased to introduce the Affordable Bermuda Basket, a curated selection of essential grocery items offered at everyday, more affordable prices. From fresh basics to family favorites, we're helping your dollar go further with the brands you love. Available now at Lindo's, the Marketplace stores, and the Garden Market. Visit costofliving.gov.bm to see the full list of items. Thanks to our wholesalers and retailers for helping to make this possible. Offer ends July 31st, 2026.
Have you been selected to take part in Bermuda's 2025 National Household Survey on Drug Use and Health? Between October 28th and November 28th, the Department for National Drug Control is conducting a confidential survey to better understand drug use trends and improve support programs. If your household is selected, your honest feedback can help shape future policy and services that matter. Be heard, help make a difference. This is a message from the Department for National Drug Control.
enjoying spiritual connotations Sundays from 6 until 7 p.m.
.7. Good afternoon. You're on. Well, you're not on the air yet. Actually, you are. Let me hear you. Say hello. You on the air? You got to talk on the mic so you know if you're on the air. You can't hear yourself in the headphones. You hear yourself now?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who did you think I was talking to?
I thought the person that called in.
No.
Oh, it happened so fast. I said, whoa, you know? I'm sorry. I was like a deer in the headlight. I was like, well, someone's supposed to talk.
So he's 8 minutes out, so he should be calling really soon.
Yep.
You send him a little WhatsApp note. And before he calls, while you're doing that, you can tell us who it is.
Sure. No, this is actually very, very, very exciting. Dr. Jason Branch. Dr. Jason Branch. I had the pleasure of meeting him actually in Temecula.
Where's Temecula?
Temecula's in Southern California.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that before.
Known as wine country.
Oh, why? Oh, that's why I never heard of it before.
There you go, Lessa.
Even though I do enjoy Pinot Noir.
Ah, well, you will find a lot of that over there.
I'm sure.
Straight from the grape.
And what's his name again?
Dr. Jason Branch.
Dr. Jason Branch. Welcome to Magic 102.7 FM.
Thank you so much for having me.
I have your compatriot, Gianluca Gibbons, in the studio, co-hosting with me this afternoon to get into all of the good things about you, Doctor. And I'm going to let Gianluca introduce you because from what I have heard, you have a very stellar bio.
Yeah, so let's hop into the bio, right? This gentleman has over 16 years of experience in the mental health and counseling profession. He earned dual bachelor degrees in psychology and sociology from the University of West Alabama. He then earned a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, and also a doctorate in counselor education and supervision from Auburn University. In addition to that, the gentleman is a licensed professional counselor in 3 states. He's a approved clinical supervisor and a national certified counselor. And he's the CEO of his own agency, J. Branch and Associates, LLC.
Wow.
So to have all that time to go to school and then still be in the profession for 16 years, man, that's impressive, brother. You must be about 70 years old, isn't it?
Thank you so much. I appreciate the love, 100%.
No, definitely. But beyond that, he works as a professor, motivational speaker. He is a soon-to-be author. He's working on some great work. He also has a podcast that he has launched with over 104 episodes recorded. I mean, this guy he's really on fire for mental health. And just before we get into the interview, right? I just want to say, Dr. Branch approached me after my TED Talk in Temecula.
And your TED Talk was just recently, about a month ago or so? Or just over a month?
Yeah, a month or two, yeah. And, there are few people who I meet in a moment and the impression they make is instant. When I was younger, I thought planning and knowing was the key to success. As I got older, I realized being intuitive and hearing what's not being said without planning for it is way more important for making decisions that drive success. And meeting this gentleman, it was like one of those moments I was like, I got to stay connected to this guy. And over the last few months, we've had some great conversations, developed a great relationship, and in perfect time to bring him to Bermuda.
Well, Dr. Jason Branch, you deserve a standing ovation.
Thank you so much, and I receive all of it. I don't have a problem accepting my flowers, and I appreciate the bouquet that you guys gave to me, because it's real and it's honest, and I don't think about it because this is just how I live and who I am. But just to hear this love and this feedback just lets me know I'm on the best path, and that's my own. So thank you for all of this.
Well, mental health is consuming the planet with respect to the various challenges, whether it be bipolar or whatever else in various populations, even those that we look at and feel are, examples of what we should be using as a gold standard. I mean, many would question some of the leaders in the world with respect to how stable they are mentally. I mean, some of the decisions that are going on. When you look at the genocide that's going on in Israel, in the Sudan, it's just a very interesting time where you would be inclined to be asking, well, how stable are those people in the world charged with making the decisions that seems to be causing more chaos than strategically, implementing solutions that would serve humanity and the planet's well-being. I mean, what's going on? Is there, doctor, something in the air or something in the food? Great question, and I would say a little bit of both. Depends on where you at. I would say both. I mean. Go ahead. Yeah, I was just, no pun intended, but it's crazy. It's insane. It is, and the big picture I want to share is, regardless of where someone is or who they are, what position or title or role they're in, I love to break things down to the core, and the core is humanism. It's people. Mm-hmm. And regardless of your position, title, wherever you are, as people, as humans,
we're all doing the best we can with what we have. Everybody. And the reason that we do the things that we do or don't do the things that we do is based off of what we experienced. Part of our personality, part of our background, culture, upbringing, you name it. All of that plays a huge piece in who we are today.
When we look at the generational trauma that afflicts many societies, you know, we can kind of explain it. How are we going to be addressing and explaining away the trauma generations to come of those young people in our communities that have suffered loss as a result of gun violence and homicide, to say the least, those around the globe that have experienced and survived bombs falling out of the air on hospitals and universities and schools. I mean, how are we as humankind going to be dealing with levels of mental health that would serve to impact people in ways that would exacerbate dysfunction based on what they've experienced?
Excellent question. And to me, a lot of the things that we're managing, that we're dealing with, is not new. A lot of the things is not new. It's new to us because we're here now, but it's not new. These are a lot of things that's just a part of us as a culture, as a society, as people. So working through it, in my opinion, is working through you, the person, because that's the only thing that I can control or change. What's happening around me, you know, the war and battles and the discrepancies that's happening, poverty, violence, you name it. A lot of that is not in our control, but we experience it either directly or indirectly, so we're impacted by it. And when I'm impacted by these things, that means there's an opportunity for me. And that opportunity, I want to share with everyone. You have that opportunity to work on you or look at you. Because when these things happen to us and around us, it's external. We put a lot of energy, focus, and attention on the external things. Me, the reality is what's internal, which is me as a person. So I can't control what's going on. For example, you know, within my country, within the United States, there's a lot of discord. There's a lot of disconnect. There's a lot of division happening. And I can't control that. But I can control what I do in the middle of this division. And that's what I want to challenge the listeners. You know, how do I begin the process of shifting my focus to all these things that I can't control or change and turn my focus inward to who I can control or change? And that's me. And that's the challenge. And no one's talking about that. That's why I'm talking about it. Because we're not talking about us. We're talking about everybody else and their mama and their mama's mama.
That's profound. Absolutely. And you know, looking at pop culture, where it's gone from where it once came, and now the reality of people's lives being shared by way of technology as entertainment, which does not contribute to the well-being of people's mental state. When you see grown women cursing and fighting on television, and they frame it in the context of reality TV because of what they believe has entertainment value, and this could serve to validate people that are dysfunctional, who might be inclined to be domestic abusers or substance abusers, etc. I mean, that point you make is very profound, to start with oneself first. But pop culture is having the influence that would be counterproductive to that person that might want to introspectively look at where they need to be when it is their responsibility to look within.
Absolutely. And this is common. This is a common thing, because within our culture, within our society, entertainment is an escape. And if I'm dealing with all the things that I'm dealing with in life, yes, I want to escape. So social media, television, like you were talking about, reality TV, it's an escape for us. And sometimes we can escape so much and so long that we forget about the reality. So therefore, the escape that I'm in, watching these shows or participating in these different things, it's a belief that I can develop that I need to be like everybody else that I see on television. That I need to be like anybody that I'm actually not. And that becomes more exciting than my normal everyday life, because I may not value my normal everyday life because of what I'm exposed to and what I consistently expose myself to. So again, everything that you all hear me talk about, I'm always going to bring it back to us, the individual, the person, because that's where the power lies, but we don't feel powerful, and that's what makes us feel powerless. And just what I do when I feel powerless, I'm going to dive more into the things that excite me. That's external. So it's a huge cycle that just continues over and over and over again until we decide to get off of the hamster wheel.
No, it's true, it's true. It's even with the book I recently wrote, How to Hijack Reality, it talks about that aspect of living in the reality of your imagination, right? Because our imaginations are heavily tied within who we are, right? We have to connect within. So imagination comes from a source that most times lives in the ideas we had as we was a kid, the things we used to love thinking about. But when we, like Dr. Branch is saying, when we digest all this media, we start replacing our own imagination with the pictures that other people create. And everybody knows conflict sells. Anything with conflict sells, right? So what's the cheapest conflict? Violence, action movies,
Right.
Action.
I even enjoy action movies.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, like I'm helping some friends in LA, try to broker a movie deal, and the money people, the first thing they ask is it an action? Is it a horror? And if you say yes to either of those, they listen right away.
Definitely a no for horror. I can't even keep my eyes open for a horror movie.
They're the cheapest. They're the cheapest movies to make, and the ones that sell usually the fastest and for the highest
and
amounts.
They're the most vile.
And they're the most vile. Why is that? And because but it's not to say that a drama won't sell. It's just it's less risk to put out violence and horror.
And less expensive.
Yeah. So at the cost of the general population, we will flood media with this stuff. And now Dr. Branch has got to get all this education to fix the problems that the media is causing. But is it the media or is it people's inability to go back within
and fix themselves?
So Dr. Branch, right? We have 2 weeks of magic coming.
And just before you go on, we have in studio, It's Been Said host on Monday evenings at 7:30, Kat Wade. How is ya?
I'm doing great, everybody, and I'm happy that I'm able to be here. This 2 weeks of magic has really kind of ignited so many people, so many things, so many opportunities. That magic and it's around the right season. I mean, what could be more magical than Christmas?
Come on now.
And
I must add that the Cocoa Reef event on the 7th, the Gala Awards, the Magic Gala Awards. Brunch is fully subscribed, so there's no room for anyone.
Hallelujah.
Only on the 6th.
But there's still room. It's not too late, y'all.
For the 6th.
There's still room?
It's for the 6th.
For the 6th. Oh my goodness, yes.
And
that's
at Ruth Seaton.
The Magic Mastermind Summit.
And that's where Dr. Branch will be a part of the proceedings.
Yes.
And giving feedback to specific questions that people might have related to his level of experience and expertise.
Yes.
That will also be where our Lifetime Achievement Award individual will be profiled and highlighted.
Yes.
And the keynote speaker for the evening will be 16-year-old head girl of the Barclay Institute, a public school in Bermuda, who just recently outshone everyone, I would think, at the United Kingdom House of Commons, which is where all of the laws are made for Great Britain. 16 years old on the floor of the House of Commons.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Yes.
And her resume, my resume is dwarfed by hers at 16 years old.
Her resume is impressive.
It's incredible.
Impressive. So and the key thing, right? Because we have Dr. Branch here, and it's really about the theme of 2 weeks of magic, the theme of the magic of Bermuda, right? And that is the future of Bermuda starts here, right? And what we believe is in this collaborative economy, an economy that regenerates itself through relationships that are symbiotic, right? Everyone's benefiting. But beyond that, because you were asked, what are the criteria of those who are getting these awards, right? And that is, you show excellence both locally and internationally. You are a hometown hero, and you're a hero for many around the world, right? And that's the key thing, because Bermuda, even geographically, sits in this unique place where you have a center point between Europe, between North America, and the Caribbean. That's a lot of energies to sit in the middle of.
That's the Bermuda Triangle.
That is, and it's funny, because
I love it.
even with the Bermuda Triangle, you have Puerto Rico, you got Miami, but they named it after Bermuda. Why? Because we're the most powerful.
Indeed. So Dr. Branch, you're coming to a grand place. You will not be disappointed.
Oh, I'm ready.
Is it going to be your first? Is it going to be your first? Is it going to be your first visit, Dr. Branch, to Bermuda?
Second visit. Visit.
Oh, okay. And when you came previously, was it on vacation or business?
A little bit of both.
Oh,
a little bit of both.
okay.
More vacation than business.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, Gianluca, I know you're just burning with more questions that you want to pose. And Kat, you jump in as well, because you have a medical background as well, and you've been all around
Counseling
the world.
therapist. That's my social work. That's my main background of what I've done. So always good to meet a colleague in the field.
And definitely, and also Kat Wade with It's Been Said, recently penned a partnership with Dignity House that does a lot of work in the mental health space. I mean,
they do.
And if you want to speak to that a little bit, just to kind of let Dr. Branch know what he's walking into, because
absolutely,
at the heart of this, what we're looking to do is create a table where we can come together, both locally and internationally, and solve issues.
Well, I think what I've learned, even over the time that I was actually very much involved in counseling and therapy, and maybe Dr. Branch is the same thing, is that in Bermuda there is a stigma attached to mental health. People have no problems going to the hospital to take care of a broken leg, a sprained ankle, probably something in your eye. But when it comes to mental health, there's a limited sort of opportunity for them to sort of find the space to do it. That could be depression. It's getting better. I mean, I really believe places like Dignity House and other areas are trying to overcome that. And what Dignity House presents is a holistic space. So they do things that are probably you would have to find elsewhere separately. A bit of yoga, a bit of meditation, a bit of metaphysical, a bit of therapy, a bit of, other things. They combine everything along with the psychiatric side to give you this holistic sense. So you feel like you're part of it. And what I love also is that when people have been diagnosed with certain ailments, mental health, they educate them on what it is.
Oh, wow.
They educate you. So, if you're a diabetic, you got to know what your insulin levels have to be like, your blood levels, your blood tests, your medications, and everything. So when someone has been diagnosed with bipolar or depression, anxiety, they'll tell you.
Schizophrenia.
They will tell you what it is, why they have it, what's best for them, what the triggers are, without any sense of feeling any judgment behind it. So that's what Dignity House, that's what I love about them. I don't know if that's an approach that you might have, Dr. Branch, but it's always something that has to be sort of pushed into the forefront, that mental health is necessary. You must maintain some type of awareness of it, because it just affects so many aspects of your life and your family's life. And I love the part where you said that we have to take individual responsibility for ourselves. I love that.
And one of the major challenges for Bermuda is that we're a very small community. So once you have been diagnosed and need intervention, if people know about it, the people feel victimized who are diagnosed with a challenge that needs to be addressed, because their perception is that they're going to be looked at differently because of the stigma. And in a small society like Bermuda, where almost everybody is related, it's a very difficult thing to fly below the radar. How do you deal with a challenge like that, Dr. Branch, when there could be a patient who wants the intervention but doesn't want to be seen to be going into a particular facility, or they don't want other family members to know about it because they may have had challenges within the family before being diagnosed, and now, after people have called them crazy, they've been diagnosed with a level of mental illness that many people would say, well, I always knew they were crazy.
No, this is like your mom, like your dad, because you have one mental health hospital.
Yeah. Here in Bermuda.
That was called St. Brendan's.
St. Brendan's,
and it's so Dignity House also offers that same type of therapy outside of that type of institution.
Gotcha.
Because institutions sort of dictate how you should be and how you should act. And so if you've got in your mind, if I go into Maui, I'm going to come out looking like this.
Yeah,
or
that's the Mid-Atlantic Wellness Center, which is our...
the new name of St. Brendan's.
The Mental Health Institute. So, Dr. Branch, for that individual that has been diagnosed, and they look at themselves in the mirror differently now because they may have felt there was something just not right, couldn't put a finger on it because they had not been diagnosed, but now being diagnosed and being, explained as to why they may be suffering in the way they are, with the stigma attached to it. What would you say to a patient like that who really wants to be helped and get the intervention, but are reluctant to do so because of the risk or the fear of being stigmatized?
All right, so we're going to need 2 weeks of this radio show. Is that okay with that? We just
I
keep
love
talking?
it. I love it.
Well, for now and the next 2 weeks, we just keep talking to find the answer to this, because it's heavy and it's so many layers to it. It's so many layers. So it's not just one way. So I want to share a few ways that we can do things differently. And number one, it goes back to us. The stigma, the stereotype around mental health and wellness is a real thing. It's definitely a real thing in Bermuda because it's a small island. As you mentioned, everybody may be related, or feel like you're related. And it's being able to overcome perception and beliefs. So that's what the core of it is. So the reality is your mental health, your physical health is your business and it's confidential. So therefore, anything outside of that is what I perceive from other people. Because reality is nobody's talking about it. Everybody's talking to other people about it or about me. So I have to be okay with taking care of myself regardless of what anybody else has to say. Because most people that are saying things never experience therapy for themselves. They never got checked out themselves. They're probably dealing with the same thing I'm dealing with. How do I know? It's my mama. But we never talked about it because my mama's talking about me, and now I'm trying to work on me.
Mercy.
So it's giving yourself permission to do things you've never done in order to have a life that you dream of. I'm not only an advocate of this profession, I'm a card-carrying member. I'm a black male therapist who has a therapist. I'm so unique. I'm a unicorn, but I'm black with a gold horn.
Wow.
Yes.
Whoa.
I don't care about what people think about me, and I had to do the work on me to get here. I don't mind talking about me because everybody else going to do it anyway. Let me tell you the truth, though. And that's what changed things for me as a mental health clinician. So I had to get over this belief about who I am and who I'm not based off of other people's opinion and perspective. That takes work. That took years. But I'm here now, and I love being here. And again, I don't care what people think about me. But you have to work on you to get to that level. Because once you're at that level, you do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. And that's it. So if I'm willing to do whatever it takes, and I got my family, friends, my whole community, my whole culture talking about me, guess what? They doing it anyway, whether it's mental health or anything else. What's different? The topic, the subject. So for me, I have to be okay with people talking long as I'm taking care of me, because people going to talk while they got a mouth. And folks been talking since the beginning of the time, and they going to stop now. To make it simple, I get caught up in the facts, not the beliefs. And for many of us, we get so caught up in the belief, we don't care about the facts. Because facts don't matter when I'm in my feelings.
Yeah.
So the fact for me is I have to take care of me. Nobody else is going to do it. If they were going to do it, they would have done it by now. And it hasn't happened, which means it's on me. So going to a clinic, going to the hospital, getting checked out, getting tests, doing assessment, getting a diagnosis, that takes work just to get to the building. It takes work to go in the building. it takes even more work to connect with someone and get support and services. So you can't just jump out, hey, I want to go get a therapist, I want to start doing this work. You got to do work at the house first. Let me check on me first before I even go anywhere else. So we don't know that because we're not talking about it.
So I have a question.
And that's
for you.
why I'm sorry. Go ahead. I get excited.
No, this is great.
I love it, yeah.
No, this is in line, right? So I did some research, right? And it said we've learned that many Bermudian youth struggle to recognize depression or anxiety. And more than 70% say they try to handle it on their own, right? And handle it on your own could just mean avoid, right? Or suppress or mask. So, given...
Or indulge in vices.
Self-medicate.
Self-medicate, which is a big thing in Bermuda. So we're speaking at Ruth Seton James, right, on September 6th in the evening, right? 6 p.m. You'll be on the panel. And a lot of youth will be there because it's free for ages 18 and under. So with that in mind, what can schools, what can families and communities do to improve mental health literacy and encourage help seeking, right? What can the schools and communities do to help educate some of these stigmas so that the youth of Bermuda can be as radical as you, and it takes time to take ownership over themselves, saying, I will disrupt the perceptions of the outside world, and I will, without shame, focus on developing me for me, knowing that they will talk, but that's not a factor when it comes to me ensuring that I'm the best of who I need to be for myself and show up, So what sort of advice would you give in that direction?
Great question. First thing, as a therapist, I don't give advice because my job is to help you help yourself. So a lot of people think therapy is one thing that it's actually not. So because I don't give advice, what I want to share is a 4-pronged approach to consider something different. The core for me of why a lot of us don't go to therapy is because we never considered it. Reason we don't go get diagnosed, we don't go get checked on, we never considered it. So the 4-pronged approach to me with schools and community, number one is exposure. I need to be exposed to something that I'm not aware of, something new, something different. This radio show, this conversation we're having is exposure. We've done our job. That's the beginning. The second is education. Education has let me learn about what therapy is and not what I was told therapy was by somebody who's never gone. So education. Number 3 is engagement. The engagement, let me just go see what it's like in this arena, at the hospital or at an office. Let me just go see. I don't have to sign up for anything. I don't have to sit down on nobody's couch. Let me just engage in what is this conversation about. And the last is a mentorship. Someone who's done it, someone who's doing it, someone who's in the middle of it. Let me connect with that person to get the real life experience and examples of what it means to go to therapy, what it means to work on your mental health. So to me, that's a great start. Again, we need 2 weeks, y'all. Okay, we definitely need 2 weeks. So it's giving yourself permission to be exposed to the people that's doing it. Again, as you mentioned with the youth are exposed to a lot of things based off of what they choose to be exposed to. So therefore, I have to choose to expose myself to people, places, and things that connect to mental health and wellness. If I'm able to do that, I can shift, I can pivot, I can change my focus, which means I can change my life. So to me, that's the low-hanging fruit. So for the adults, for those who have experienced therapy, there's a reason you're not talking about it, and I would challenge you to talk about it. For those who've never gone, there's a reason, and I would challenge you to start talking about it. Communication rules the world, and we're not talking about the things because it's scary, it's uncomfortable. There's judgment, shame, and guilt around it. That's choice-based, based off of who we are. That's not considering who we're becoming. In my opinion, this conversation we're having now changes the focus for everyone listening because you've been exposed to something you've never been exposed to, even me as a person. Nobody's ever heard Dr. Jason Branch until now. Now you will not hear nothing else but me. Because I can't shut up.
Come on now. Come on.
I love it. Wow. I mean, what a perspective. And given your level of expertise and experience, much of what you would probably describe as feedback would be the way in which you go about interacting with patients and or clients as opposed to giving advice. Would that be because people need to take responsibility on helping themselves as well to figure it out? And if that is the case, then how do you make the assessment on what would be appropriate intervention, particularly if you're dealing with different forms of mental health illness? Schizophrenia is one thing, bipolar is another, depression is another.
Excellent question. So this approach about not giving advice. Here's the background. Again, exposure, education, engagement, mentorship. I want y'all to keep that, write it down. This is going to help you become who you're supposed to be. So if I gave a client advice and it worked, guess who they're coming back to when it's time to make a hard decision? They're coming back to me, because they're not going to be able to make a decision on their own because I made the decision for them. And if I tell them what to do and they go do it and it works, then they're always going to come back to me, but I'm not always going to be available. The other side of it, if I do give advice and it don't work, guess who they blame?
Oh, you. Absolutely.
So to eliminate both of those, my job is to help clients help themselves by figuring out who they are instead of living a life based off of who they think they need to be. So if you think about schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, bipolar, yes, that may be a diagnosis, but it doesn't, we don't all experience it the same. We don't. So just because I have bipolar and my mama got bipolar, don't mean we managing this the same way. Number one, she's a woman. Number two, I'm a guy. She's older than me. I'm this age. I'm dealing with different things in society. I have social media. She didn't. So it's so many different things, and that's why the energy, the attention, the focus is on three parallels. Who we were, who we are, who we're becoming. Only you know that. And if you don't, get you a therapist to help you work through it. So that's my recommendation. That's my approach. Again, it comes back to us. So for me, how dare I tell you what to do? I ain't never been you a day in my life.
So do you prescribe prescriptions as well?
No, I do not prescribe medications. I'm a licensed professional counselor, so I can, but I don't. It's another certification I'm not really interested in. But there's a lot of clinicians from different platforms, such as social work, psychiatry, psychologists, that do offer medication. So that's the other piece. Again, you'll see these four-pronged approaches just continue. That's number two, education. Let me find out who's doing what. Let me find out who does what. Because a lot of people come to me like, hey, I need you to put me on medication. The only medication I got is what I take for myself.
Right.
I can't give you something I don't have. That's the education piece.
Right.
Educate myself about who's doing what, how are they doing, what they offer, what does it look like. That's on me. Because if you think about anything that we want in life, we research it. I want to go to dinner at a certain place, I'm going to research. I'm going to find out what they do. I'm going to look at some pictures, I'm going to make some phone calls, somebody's going to tell me about it. But when it comes to the things that we want, that's common, that we love, that's comfortable, we don't mind doing the work for that. But I want to challenge you with that same breath, that same vein. What's the opposite, the antithesis of me doing something uncomfortable with that same energy, that same focus? That's what I would challenge.
I have a question, Dr. Branch. It was something that was sort of, I guess, relayed to me way back when it comes to, especially, I did some studies at Rutgers University during the summer because I was a certified addictions counselor as well. And one of the things that kind of came across was the fear that a lot of black men exhibit, F-E-A-R, fear. And that fear often turns up looking like anger because that's the one emotion that is accepted. You don't look like you're weak. You don't look like, you're crying. You don't look like you're overwhelmed. But you can be angry. And an angry black man is fine. It's accepted. What are your thoughts around that?
Oh, again, we're going to need 3 weeks. I mean, 24/7.
You just say,
what we dealing with.
Just say, Cat, I agree with you.
I think you found a new person to interview. This been said. I think you might need a part 2 when it's been said.
So I want to. This is so big because this is my core. I'm a black male, as I mentioned, black male therapist. And when it comes to these emotions, because you mentioned fear, and that fear and anger. If you look at fear and anger, they are both emotions. One emotion doesn't weigh more than the other. Emotions are emotions. And the reality is fear is underneath anger.
Spot on.
Anger is the primary emotion. The secondary is fear. So the reality is because I'm terrified, I'm going to fight in any shape, form, or fashion. So even if it's fighting against these beliefs or ideas that somebody gave me, I'm going to fight. So for us as black men, you have to think about our origin. And that origin comes from our fathers or lack thereof. They are the individuals that teach us what it means to be a man. And here's the difference between the fact and the belief. For a belief, many of us have an idea of what it means to be a man. That includes women. The reality is, it's all a belief because there are no facts of what it means to be a man. I mean that by if we interviewed 100 men, whether 100 in Bermuda, 100 in the U.S., that's 200 men. If we interviewed them, we would get 200 different definitions of what it means to be a man. I just want to talk about facts. I'm a man and I go to therapy, period. And there's no shame in it. But my father doesn't. He didn't until 20 years in this experience, in this profession, he decided, all right, let me try this therapy thing out. Okay, man, you talking all this. No, let me try it out. So he tried it because he considered it. When you're dealing with fear, we don't consider therapy. And the reality with fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not real. It's a belief.
Yes, that's right.
You're entitled to it. But the beliefs are so deeply rooted, if we don't challenge, we don't question, because we were taught not to challenge, we were taught not to question, that's why it stays the same. So I'm challenging every black man, any black man, to challenge and question things you never challenged and questioned. From a teenager to an adult. And part of our culture, we don't do that because we're taught not to. But guess what we were taught? A belief that was given to somebody else that they gave to me. And that's the generational curses. That's the ancestral curses that can happen where we're passing down unhealthy, unrealistic, false, or beliefs or tradition and culture. We're passing that down and it hurts us. There's a lot that helps us and there's a lot that hurt us too. So once I become to a place where I can begin to question and challenge and ask and see and do, then it's my responsibility to start doing that in order for me to make changes. Here's an example. Me making changes in my life impacts my wife. It impacts my two boys. I got two boys, 2 and 4 years old. I know what they get from me is amazing because I didn't get it. And I'm amazing. Woo! Y'all better come.
Yes, right. Let's put the applause button on. Yes, indeed.
Quick thing.
If you're able, real quick, if you're able to consider something different, to me, you have an opportunity to do something different. So the challenge is, and this is to all listeners, I would challenge you from today moving forward, every day, give yourself permission to be done. What it means to be done is D-U-N. That means I'm willing to do something different, uncomfortable, and new. How often? Every day. If you do that for 7 days, watch who you will become. If you do it for a month, if you do it for a year, if you do it for the rest of your life, you will never be the same again.
Yeah, you can morph into somebody different. Absolutely.
Exactly.
You're morph into
somebody different is somebody that go to therapy and there's no shame around it. That's a different person. It takes work to do that.
Indeed.
You said a definition. You kind of went past it real fast. But fear is false evidence that feels real. Can you break that down a bit? Because I think fear and anger kind of live synonymously, right? When we are fearful, we act in anger. I read this book called Anchored. Don't necessarily recommend the book, but great information there. But it talks about the nervous system, and simple like you're in fight or flight. That's like danger, your danger zone, right? And then the fear zone is, it's fight or flight, danger zone, and then safety, right? And when we're in safety, we're creative, we connect, these sort of things. When we're in fear, we're defensive, less personable, anti-connection. When we're fight or flight, that's more that anger, reaction, violence sort of thing, right? And that really helped me to visualize like my state, Am I in a fight or flight? Am I in danger? Or am I in safety, right? So what you're saying right here with this definition, fear is false evidence that feels real. Break that down. Like, how can people navigate that? Because if it feels real, I might think it's real. So how do I know it's not real? Yeah. And how do I navigate coming out of this state where I'm not acting out out of evidence of something that actually really isn't real. It just feels that way.
Hey, this is great. This is great. So to break it down, I use a lot of analogies and metaphors. I'm glad that you are able to pick up visually, because that's what I want to share. That's how we can begin to put ourselves in position to shift. So when it comes to fear, like a real fear is a threat or danger of my actual life. So say, for instance, I'm out having the time of my life in the woods somewhere, and there's an actual bear at my camp. That's a real fear. Now, let's say, for instance, I'm at home. I'm watching a movie, somebody on the campsite, and there's a bear there. That's still fear, but it's false evidence appearing real, which means you're still safe. But I feel terrified. I feel that I'm under attack. I feel like I could lose my life. That's a belief, and you're entitled to it. And sometimes our beliefs are so strong and so compounded through years of training, of years of being inundated with this information, that I believe that the movies are real as well as the real life fear. So let's break that all the way down. There's three, I love parallels, I love analogies. So when I look at us as human beings, I look at us as a house. In your house, there are 3 stories, 3 levels, 3 layers. You got the attic, living room, basement. All the fear that we have is in the attic, which is where you spend most of your time. And where that is actually in your head. We spend a lot of time in our head creating scenarios that ends in our demise. It's belief. So think about when the last time you said, what if, I think, I believe. These are all things that you're creating. It's not real. What's real is what happens in the living room. That's the second level, the second layer. So the attic is the most comfortable place in your house, and it's nice, too. I mean, you got a California King, you got Basquiat, Picasso on the wall, you got a refrigerator in there, and I ain't talking about the little one from college, I'm talking about the big one, right? You can separate with all your favorite things, so that's where you love to be in your head. Then you got the living room, where you sit back on the couch with your shoes and socks off, rubbing your toes together, watching your favorite TV show or movie. That's where you are in reality. And beneath that is a place that we do not go, because there's a padlock on the door that leads to our basement. The basement is where all those feelings and emotions go to live, and they come up every now and then. So all the things that happen to us from birth to where we are now, no matter what it is, good, bad, ugly, we throw it in the basement, we lock it up, and we never go down there. That's the real stuff. But we so caught up on the imaginative stuff in our head, which is the attic, we never go down to our basement to the real stuff that truly matters. So imagine this. There's 2 roads, okay, when it comes to fear. There's 2 roads. The road on the left is a road that has a billboard to a movie where you die at the end.
Oh, wow.
That's fear. False evidence appearing weird. False evidence appearing real. On the right-hand side, we have facts. And the facts is what you can prove. It gives you evidence. And on the right-hand side, for me and mine, there's a billboard that's a trailer to a movie where I win at the end. Why? Because I believe it. The difference between you on the left-hand side or the right-hand side is your belief. That's it. That is it. That is all. And I can't see anything else. And that's what I'm talking about in this way. So the fear is the idea of what can happen, not the reality. So if I'm, again, going back, if I'm willing to be done, doing things different, uncomfortable, and new, therefore that's going to give me evidence by what I do, not what I think. There's a difference. People that bother me, and if this is you on the line for anybody listening, there are people that bother me. Like, they really get to me. And these are people that don't like sushi. And you ask them, hey, you ever tried sushi? Nah, I ain't never had it.
I love sushi.
Same thing as belief. It's the same thing as fear. It's the same thing. I believe it's the worst thing I ever had, even though I never had it. That's fear.
Yeah. Now, that would apply to me if I were offered escargot.
There he is.
Garden snail.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think you got to see this. If that's food, therapy is. What you think mental health is? It's the same thing. It's what I believe to be true, even if it's not. I believe it. It's the reason we do or don't do anything. What we believe.
So how?
I hope this helps.
It does. Oh, incredibly so. So how does, we're going to be winding down in a couple of minutes, Dr. Branch, but how does, because you would have been trained, obviously, extensively, and you would have covered subjects such as ego and superego. why don't you, if it's not an imposition, to explain the difference between the ego and superego and what kind of effect it would have on people with narcissistic traits, who often would be in denial and totally, disagree that they need any kind of intervention for that matter.
Okay, so a couple things. Y'all got me working today. I like this. Yeah, I like this. So, first of all, I have to decolonize mental health and therapy. So you mentioned id, ego, and superego. This is a concept developed by Sigmund Freud.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is Sigmund Freud is not even from the U.S. or Bermuda, and he don't look nothing like me. So I don't use those systems that I was told to do the job that I do because it doesn't align. Let's go a little bit
And he
deeper.
also authored maybe a medical text for medical practitioners, probably maybe pharmaceutical students may have come across it, called The Cocaine Papers, where he experimented on his family.
I see you've been doing your research. Absolutely, Freud did coke. He did it so much he loved it. He gave it to his patients. Okay, and I ain't talking about the real thing, the red can. I'm talking about the white powder on his nose. So we don't talk about that. We do not talk about that. And this is what decolonization looks like. Mm-hmm. Because what I know for a fact is Sigmund Freud and several of these theorists that I learned and other people learn in this profession, number one, they're white men. That's not from wherever you're from. Number two, they've never worked with anybody that looks like me. It's on record. Sigmund Freud has never worked with a black client, ever. So for me, I care what Sigmund has to say. I care what I have to say based off of 43 years of life and 20 years in this profession. That's what I carry because I never met Freud. He'd been dead and gone before I got here. So I'm not putting a lot of energy into that. The only dead folks I put energy into, they got their face on some green dollars. That's about it. Outside of that, not putting a lot of energy into the past, but putting into the current. And the current is figuring out who you are to determine what is best for you. I can't do that if I'm still wearing the mask, trying to be what everybody told me I need to be versus being who I actually am. And if I'm not doing the work on me, I will never discover that. So I will be out here wearing the mask, and that's what I do because that's what everybody else around me does. But when it comes to being who you are authentically, and I want to go all the way back to what Gianluca mentioned about our connection. I whispered something to him based off of what I felt. I didn't care how he received it or how he perceived it, which is how we ended up getting together. He didn't like what I had to say because it was true.
He ain't lying. I'm not gonna say what he told me, but it happened so fast.
And listen,
it pissed me off.
Oh man,
it's true. No, real quick. I need y'all to see this.
Yeah.
Ego, super ego, none of that was in the conversation. And look where we are. That's the evidence. That's what we can prove. Not what somebody said or not what somebody else did. So I just need y'all to know who I am and what I bring to the table because I'm talking about us. You know, and so for me, when it comes to this ego, super ego, I want to shift that to who I was, who I am, who I'm becoming. That's my ideology. That's what I live by, and this is what I can prove. I am not the same guy, y'all. I'm a different version. I'm scared of me right now. So who y'all got is the best version of me at this time. I'm just getting started with rediscovering who I truly am. Everybody has the opportunity to do the same thing. We just don't know it. We don't believe it. Why? Because everybody told us about who we are and where we are. Think about it. Anything that you ever wanted to do, somebody talked you out of it based off of what they have experienced. But what you want to do, nobody's ever done.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's powerful.
So when you're struggling with these beliefs and you're struggling with these fears, my challenge is take your belief, whatever it is. Oh, let's do this in real time. Let's do this in real time. And somebody throw me a belief out there related to mental health, therapy, black men, anything. Throw me a belief. Anybody. Let's do this in real time.
That the black community is infested with antisocial behavior because of a lack of commitment to the nuclear family.
Okay, is that a fact or is that a belief?
I don't know.
Is it truth?
I think in
That's the other thing.
I think in certain situations it might be depending.
Break it down. I want to help y'all, because I don't even want y'all to work that hard.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make this easy.
Yeah.
It's a belief. What makes it a fact is that it encapsulates all. That means every black man is dealing with the same thing. That's what makes it a fact. But that's not true. So therefore, it's a belief. You're entitled to it. So
Or
if
your
that is
opinion.
my belief, that as a black man, I got to do all. Come on, opinion. Yeah. So
Yeah,
if
opinion.
that's my belief, then to change that belief, to change that opinion, to change that focus, is let me put some facts around it. Black men are whoever they say they are. Fact. What it means to be a black man is subjective depending on who you ask and where they from. Fact. It doesn't mean just because one black man not going, just because my daddy not going to therapy, don't mean all black men not going to therapy. I just proved that I go to therapy and I'm a therapist. So when you begin to put new facts around these old beliefs, they can't stay the same. That's the difference. So whatever you believe now, what you believe in the past, when you put facts in against it, which means evidence, you can't have the same. So my challenge to you, escargot, right? Belief. So to get the fact about what escargot actually is and what it tastes like, you got to go to a restaurant and try it out for yourself.
Right.
Once you do that, you can't have the same belief of how nasty it is or how it stinks and whatever the case may be because you experienced it for yourself.
Or if you have an allergy, that experience might be the last experience you have.
And it may be. It was a great one. You know what I'm greatest experience of your life. It ended it. Right. Oh, my God. He died because he tried escargot. I mean, he said he didn't like it. I guess he was right. I just want to talk about it, y'all. I just want to talk about it. We're not talking about it. But how do I know if I'm allergic if I've never tried it?
Yes, true.
How do I know? I don't. So the fear of dying is enough. And I want y'all to look at mental health. Some of us have the fear of dying, of how much I would never go to therapy because I can't have a therapist and I got Jesus. And I've been told you don't need a therapist when you got Jesus. Hey, y'all want to go there? Y'all brought me in here. Come on down.
Flights booked, hotel scheduled.
Flights booked, hotel scheduled.
It's too late now. It's coming.
Ruth St. James as well, man. Scheduled. And for the young people, it's absolutely complimentary. They come in to hear this level of conversation, and then there's going to be a Q&A period where people are going to be free to ask questions so that they can get not advice from Dr. Branch, but feedback. Because there needs to be the level of accountability through responsibility of taking your own challenge on, as opposed to having the fear of the consequential fallout that might be unintended, that could only be a perception, which prevents you from getting the kind of intervention that could help.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So with that, I'm thankful, you all. I'm really thankful that y'all selected me. I know for sure we have a great fit, okay? I know we got a good match.
Yep.
And I'm thankful to share a perspective. It's an opinion, it's a perspective, a lot of facts, a lot of stats behind it. But it's not for everyone. It can be, but for some people, they may have a hard time hearing these things because they never heard it before. Again, that relates to the fear of the unknown. Who is this guy? Who is this person? What makes him this or that? That's fine. Anytime you feel some kind of way about what's being said, you are defending what you believe. Boxing gloves go up. So for all of you that's listening, if this touched you in any way, I want to see you in 2 weeks or a week. I want to see you.
Yeah.
I want you to be there so you can ask the questions for yourself that's impacting you personally or professionally, because I don't run out. Okay? Whatever question y'all got, I got 8 answers because I don't run out because I know who I am, and all of us have the same ability. We just haven't tapped into it because we don't know how.
That's powerful.
I know how, and I want to give it to anybody who wants some. You want some? Come get some.
Whoa. Well, Dr. Branch, this has been a very profound conversation. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. I cannot wait to meet you in person. I believe that people will have many takeaway examples by way of your interaction with them on the 6th of December at the Magic
Mastermind
Summit.
Come on
That's
now.
going to be at Ruth Seton James Center for the Performing Arts on the 6th. It's going to start at about 6:30 or so. We're going to open the doors about an hour and a half, about an hour.
Yeah, I think
half an
5:30
hour.
doors open.
Yeah, open. And for the adults that are attending, because it's a nonprofit situation, there's going to be a minimal admission charge of just $25 for adults, but and it's going to be cash. We're not got no plastic card facilitating technology to take your credit and or debit card. So just bring along the 25 if you are an adult. That's going to help with the costs of doing this incredibly ambitious 2 weeks of magic between the 1st of December and the 12th of December, which includes a school tour to motivate students. It also includes a cooking demonstration in partnership with the Bermuda Diabetic Association. It includes as well the awards luncheon, which will be held on the 7th. The 2 weeks of magic, but the 25 is only for because the award ceremony is fully subscribed. No places left. But for Ruth Seton on the 6th, the adults 25 and students or anyone under the age of 18 years of age will be admitted free of charge. And we would love to see the place full of young people that just wants to get good, wholesome information that will help to refine what it is they aspire to achieve in their lifetimes starting now.
Yes.
And of course, our keynote speaker is going to be the awardee that will receive the Magic
of Bermuda
Youth Leadership Award, 16-year-old Kalaj Simons. And that's on the 6th of December, just a week away from this coming tomorrow.
Yeah,
a week away from tomorrow.
So we're excited to have you all there.
Yeah.
We'll announce some other exciting events happening the following week at that event. But the summit is kicking it off. So we're excited to have you all there. And just to also say, Dr. Branch is going to be on a panel with 2 other VIPs that are flying down. We have Dr. Violet Zahidi, who's the CEO and founder of a biotech company. And
share just a bit of her background.
Sure. She also sits on the board for the Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce. Right now, she's doing extensive work in creating a incubator for entrepreneurs and founders and investors using AI, specifically innovating around the technology of understanding personality tests, assessing people's capability, and using the facts to be able to measure viability of team participation as far as, will the relationship click? Does this person fit this team? Is a CEO you're hiring, does his personality traits match with those
of the corporate culture of the company?
Exactly. So she's using a lot of science and AI to really kind of help create more collaborative economies using science and the facts. And then if somebody is, let's say, an outlier, why are they an outlier? And that's where I'm sure the work of somebody like Dr. Brandt comes in place, where they can help that person understand, well, why are you an outlier with the facts, and what can you explore within yourself to navigate this, right? Because you're still a human. You can still change and adjust, right? But this data just kind of positions it. And then we have Ursula Garrett, who's a certified public accountant, but she's also the founder of 2 nonprofits, one of which is in Sierra Leone, where she has an angel syndicate of investors that invest in local entrepreneurs in Sierra Leone. She's also acquired some acreage, so they're able to grow their own crops and be entrepreneurs in the agricultural space.
Wow.
She's in the process of constructing a sort of a startup garage, as an entrepreneur facility that they can go there and get the training that they need. She's giving training in hair and other things as well. And she also is sponsoring teachers. A lot of teachers in Sierra Leone work for free. So I think it's $20 a week.
Wow.
You're also $20 a month. You're able to sponsor a teach. So all this great work, and these are just brilliant minds who are already making a large impact internationally already. Because Dr. Zahidi, she's originally from Iran. She grew up in Europe, and now she lives in Beverly Hills. You know, you have Ursula Garrett, who's from the South, but thriving in Southern California as a CPA and has a globally placed nonprofit. She also has multiple businesses in South Africa and other parts of the continent of Africa. And imagine those two women, along with Dr. Branch on the panel, to speak at Rusi and James. Yo, this is no joke.
Yeah, and the really impressive thing that I would share is that our special guests are going to be willing to interact and network at Ruth Seaton on the 6th of December. So you won't only get to ask a question, you'll get an opportunity potentially to press the flesh. And through the networking, who knows what could manifest as a result of an opportunity in developing a level of relationship that would be mutually beneficial to not just yourselves, but indeed to the respective countries of where our guests and we are from. And I think that is a powerful thing in itself. And as Dr. Branch mentioned, it's all about communication, because we are now in the information age.
Yeah.
So much so that it's gone artificial.
Yeah.
At warp speed. And there are those that don't know how good it will impact humanity because of humankind's flaws and their ulterior motivations.
Yeah.
So acknowledging that the technology itself on principle is a wonderful thing. The challenge, the risk, and the concern is who will control it and how will it control us.
Yeah.
So there you go, Dr. Branch. Once again, thank you so very much. Safe travels on your journey and traversing the skies and byways closer to heaven until you land in Bermuda.
Paradise.
And we look forward to welcoming you with open arms.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for this conversation. And I want to share moments like this is what I call breadcrumbs. And the breadcrumbs are all around us, hidden in plain sight. And when you eat a breadcrumb, you eat enough of them, you end up with a slice of bread. You eat enough slices, you end up with a loaf. If you eat that loaf, especially talking to me, you might get hit in the head with a honey bun. You get hit in the head with a honey bun, you're gonna wake up in a bread factory, because that's where I wake up at every day, meaning I don't run out. So for anybody who is ready to get to a place where you don't run out of being yourself, this is the place to go. If anything that we talked about hit you in any way, share it. Give it to somebody else. Let other people know. Talk about it. And I want to see y'all this week. I want to see you there. And this is happening in real time. I'm just going with it because this is who I am. I want to sponsor 10 people who can't afford to go. So if you can't afford to go, I want to sponsor up to 10 people. First come, first serve. Nobody even knows about this because it's coming up in real time for me right now.
Wow.
I will get you on. All you have to do is to email me at drj@drjbranch.com and let me know what you've gained from this conversation.
And that's
what
B.
you will
That
do.
Dr. Branch. Dr. Branch. That's B as in brother.
Yes.
So
B as in brother. DRJ, Dr. J, at drjbranch.com.
Okay.
And I would love for you to share 3 things. Number 1, what did you learn from this conversation today? Number 2, what are you going to do different, uncomfortable, and new? And number 3, how will you pay it forward? First 10 people, I'm gonna take care of you for this $25 entry. And this is happening. We didn't talk about this beforehand. I'm just being me.
Oh, wow.
And
That is it. That is all.
That's
powerful.
DRJ, so like D as in David, R as in Roger, J as in Joy, DRJ at drjbranch.com.
BRANCH. So repeat it one more time, Gianluca.
So that's DRJ at drjbranch.com.
Is doctor spelled out?
DR.
Okay.
Not spelled out, just DRJBRANCH.com.
Okay. So once again, Dr. Branch, thank you so very much, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Take care.
Under the distinguished patronage of Premier David Byrd and First Lady Kristen Byrd, Inter Island Communications Limited and Sidney Palmer LLC proudly presents the inaugural 2025 Magic of Bermuda celebration, featuring 2 solid weeks of pure magic from December 1st until December 12th. Yes, Bermuda, 2 weeks of magic will inspire, motivate,
about does it for yours truly on this Friday afternoon. What a wonderful, wonderful discourse we've had today with our in-studio guests. The Honorable Deputy Leader of the country and Deputy Leader of the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party and Minister of Housing, the Honorable Zane DeSilva, speaking to his ministry and the portfolio he has the responsibility of delivering on, as well as to the incredible annual Seniors Tea that is scheduled to take place at the Bermuda Institute School Hall from 1 until 4 o'clock on Sunday, December the 7th. Where all seniors from constituency 29 are invited once again to attend to have great fun and fellowship with their peers. And the host of the event, constituency 29 MP, Zane DeSilva. And then, of course, we had just recently Dr. Jason Branch, who will be joining us here in Bermuda on the 6th of December, Saturday evening. Doors will open at 5:30 at the Ruth Seaton Center for the Performing Arts. At 5:30, the doors will be open, and the proceedings should be getting underway at around 6 o'clock. It'll feature panel discussions during the Magic Mastermind Summit, where there will be international guests coming in just to speak truth to power on any number of issues that would be relevant to our lives here in Bermuda, together with Bermudian entrepreneurs and local guests on a panel discussion as well. The evening will have entertainment featuring Bermuda Idol, Saralina Fisher. There will be Sam Swanson as well. And there will be Alay, the lovely daughter of Bootsy, our morning personality on Hot 107.5. She has that huge soca hit, Da Dum Dum. She'll be performing as well. And, of course, it's going to be a grand evening for all in attendance. And Dr. Jason Branch, who was our guest via telephone call here this afternoon, offers 10 people admission who will give him a call or email him. You got the email address. You know, I didn't write it down. I should have wrote it down. So forgive me, but I'll have it next week for you. In any case, Dr. Branch will be here in Bermuda as well, a part of the panel that will be speaking and sharing his experiences, his thoughts, and his feedback, and inviting you to ask any questions that you might like. The admission for the Magic Mastermind Summit on the 6th of December for adults is $25 at the door, cash only. And for those who would be attending under 18 years of age, they'll be admitted absolutely free. So if you have children or grandchild, please bring them along. Even if you don't come yourself, I'll be disappointed because of the wealth of information and feedback that you will get during the Magic Mastermind Summit on the 6th of December. But if you just can't make it, just bring your daughter, your son, nephew, niece, cousin, and let them off to enjoy a very wholesome evening of very positive vibes at the Ruth Seaton James Center for the Performing Arts during the Magic Mastermind Summit, December 6th at the Ruth Seaton James Center for the Performing Arts. Thank you so very much for joining us. Big shout out to Gianluca Gibbons and Kat Wade for co-hosting the interview with Dr. Jason Branch, who will be here, as he promised, to be at the event on December 6th. Thank you guys as well. And all of the team who have been collaboratively and collectively working to make this event a possibility, which is a nonprofit event. And there's going to be much more going on for the 2 weeks of magic from December the 1st until the 12th. You'll be hearing more about it on this station during the course of next week. So again, thank you very much. Be good to yourselves. Enjoy the remainder of your evening, and may God continue to bless you.
Bermuda Live on YouTube. Subscribe now.